Alright guys, we're here to go ahead and show off the Water Exodia build over here, courtesy of my boy Zeke, so shout out to him. This is utilizing the new Exodia card, Master of the Guard, and it does require you to tribute 5 monsters, and we've got lots of monsters to be tributed because we're utilizing the water engine over here. Basically just get rid of these cards, and when you get rid of these cards, they let you just special summon a bunch of monsters. So it just gives you easy access to being able to just flood the board with a bunch of waters, or just monsters in general, but we're going to call this one Water Exodia because that's what it can do. So we go ahead and tribute all of the cards. 4, of course, are Exodia, the Master of the Guard. So it requires 5 monsters to tribute. The game is over at this point, by the way. I'm just explaining what's going on. So if this card is summoned this way, if it destroys a Dark Fiend monster that is owned by your opponent by battle, you win the duel. This card's attack and defense becomes a combined original attack and defense of the tributed monsters, so it's going to have massive attack regardless. Now, in this instance, his opponent is happening to play monsters that have to be Dark and Fiend, but this card doesn't really matter. He could have actually made this, he should have actually made this card, which is the Riplo, or I guess it's called Reprodocus now in the TCG. He could have made this card, and it points up and down. So you can activate one of these effects, and it requires 2 monsters. You declare 1 monster type, all face-up monster this card points to become that type until the end of this turn. Or you can declare an attribute, and you guys can go ahead and do that. And then you can make it so all the cards that it points to become the attribute until the end of that turn. But it does have to be a Dark and a Fiend. Technically, you can make doubles and then change it to that, and then also change it to the other stuff, or whatever. If one just happens to be a Light Fiend, if that ever exists, yeah, you can actually DNA surgery, transplant, and do that stuff too. But watch, he attacks it, and that's going to go ahead and be a... Yeah, that's going to be a quick game. I mean, this is a really cheesy build. I was actually thinking about using the Dustins, but anyways, now that you guys have seen it, this one is going to be a little bit more in-depth as far as the deck profile goes, because some of them have certain effects. But more importantly, there is a Dustin build that I also want to try out, but we'll go ahead and cover that in another video. But literally, you can crash one Dustin and just spam the board with both Dustins on both sides and just pass, because the Dustins, well, I'll save that for another time. Anyways, let's talk about the Water Exodia build. So, of course, you got Exodia, the Master of the Guard. You could maybe bump this up, but since we're playing multiple copies of Moray Green, you can kind of just play this deck too. It's not a deck where it's like, oh, 100% only cheese. You can build this deck to kind of compete and do other things, but the only thing that you need in this extra deck that is 1000% important, Tomahawk can be tactically used, and also Reprodocus is kind of required for it. But in this instance, he has Drop and Ease. Puzzle, you can do a little bit of things. You can go for some Exceed plays for that. But yeah, as far as how to search out the Master of the Guard, I guess you can cycle through your cards. And again, I think he built the deck to kind of be able to just play. I mean, in this replay, he happened to have the Exodia Master of the Guard. But again, it's a deck that can play completely fine without it. Sometimes cheese decks, they're very cheesy at the end of the day, but this one can definitely still play out, right? So, of course, Exodia Master of the Guard, triple Megalo, triple Teus, triple Lid. Looks kind of like a Mermail deck. Then we got triple Nimble Sunfish, triple Nimble Manta, triple Nimble Angler, and triple Nimble Beaver. We didn't get to see this card, unfortunately, but all these cards really do. I mean, this one special summons another Nimble Monster. All the other Nimble cards where it's like destroyed or discarded or sent from the field. You can just special summon a bunch of Nimble Mantas. This one you can summon Nimble Sunfish. And then the Angler over here is actually one of the best. This one, if it's sent from the hand or deck to the graveyard, you can just put someone up to 2 level 3 or lower Nimble monsters, which can basically be anything, and then again just start proccing their effects. And then we've got Moray of Greed at 3. We've got 2 copies of Terraforming, 3 copies of Salvage, which is great. We didn't even need any of those. But Aquarium Stage, so this makes it so water monsters you control can't be destroyed by battle by a non-water monster. So basically, it kind of just protects your stuff, and it's kind of just more of a stall engine than anything here. And then we have the Exceed Territory, so when an Exceed monster battles another monster, that Exceed monster gains attack and defense times its rank, and this card on the field would be destroyed by a card effect you detach from material from a monster you met instead. You can technically go for, again, other options in the deck, but... I don't. I mean, if you're looking at dropping certain cards, I could totally consider dropping it. But since Zeke built the deck, this is how he actually built it. Again, shout out to you, homie. Then we have 3 copies of Lemuria. So this makes it so all water monsters gain 2 attack and defense. But once during your main phase, you can have all water monsters you control gain levels equal to the number of water monsters you currently control. So this actually, again, is the card that's going to allow you to go for these plays. Again, we didn't see that because, well, this is a cheesy like deck. And again, you could kind of just play out the deck if you wanted to. And then we have 1 Wall of Reeling Light and 2 copies of Metal Reflex Slime, just so you can have extra water monsters. Plus, it is a 3000 defender, and it can kind of help you stall a little bit. And it is, at the end of the day, another monster, so it has that synergy. Alternatively, you could run maybe Gores. You can even run Scapegoat to go into, again, just go into other things for better link plays. That's another option. Personally, for me, I would probably drop this card. I would probably drop these cards. This card, I mean, yeah, I guess you can kind of stall, but if these cards go away anyways, you're getting cards. I'd probably throw in some hand traps. I probably wouldn't run Wall. Honestly, I probably wouldn't run that either. I put in some more hand traps. You guys can tell me about how you guys would modify the deck as well down below. But again, it's at the end of the day, it's a deck that can still function, and I like that. For the extra deck over here, we've got a little bit of burn going on as a theme here, because this card can do a lot of work. And on top of that, half your opponent's life points. Anyways, we got the Real Cannon, Juggernaut, Libe. We've got the Gustav Max. We've got the True King of All Calamities, Flood Metal. We've got number 42. Again, this card is kind of the important card. Like, the only cards that I honestly think that you need are, like, these. Well, this is just for, like, link plays. But, Tomahawk is really important. So you attach 2 materials, supposed to summon a bunch of tokens. And then destroy them during the end phase, but you tribute. And then also your opponent takes no battle damage, but you don't need battle damage. This is game. And then we have the Gustav Max, True King. Like I said, we went over that card. We have Bouncer. We got number 6. We got Bahamas Shark and number 37. 2 copies of Totally Awesome. So again, kind of stall out a little bit versus your opponent. But like I said, I think you can go ahead and swap in other things. But I would say at its core, this is what. Oh, okay, well, we probably don't need Terraform. We don't have Field Spell. But I would say at its core, this is probably what you guys should be looking at to actually build. You can use the 3 Link Monsters as tribute for the God cards. Can you use 3 Link Monsters as tribute? I mean, why not just use, yeah, if you're making 3 Link Monsters, I think you should probably make something else. But there it is, boys. The Exodia, the Water Exodia build, the Master of the Guard, instant win condition, you win the duel. I like how it gains attack and defense, but like technically you do have a run over or something, but I mean, you guys saw it was like 5,000 something attack. You should be able to game them easily with that. But anyways, that's the Exodia build. Let me know your guys' thoughts on the new Exodia down below in the comment section below. And what other builds work with it? Like I said, I was currently working on a Dustin build, but I was like, dude, a water one. I'm all about the mermails. It's one of my favorite decks in Duel Links. But anyways, thanks for watching, guys. Hope you enjoyed the video. And if you did, you're watching this on YouTube, drop a like on it. If you're new to the channel, hit that subscribe button if you want to see more Beyblade videos.